The basis for punishment in the criminal law requires two elements to coincide with one another. The two elements are the actus reus and the mens rea. The actus reus may be the prohibited act, omission, conduct, or state of affairs, and the mens rea is any fault element such as intent, recklessness, dishonesty, knowledge, or belief. It is the prosecution's duty to prove beyond reasonable doubt the elements of the actus reus and the mens rea of the alleged crime. For example, the definition of murder is an unlawful killing of a human being with malice aforethought. The actus reus is the prohibited act, that is an unlawful killing of a human being. The mens rea is the accompanying mental element, malice aforethought, which means intending to kill or cause grievous bodily harm. So let's say Daniel hates Vincent. He wants to get rid of him once and for all, so he shoots and kills Vincent. Here, Daniel has unlawfully killed a human being, namely Vincent, and he intended to kill or cause grievous bodily harm to Vincent. For Daniel to be liable for the murder, these two elements will need to be proven beyond reasonable doubt by the prosecution. In addition, the prosecution must also establish there was a coincidence of the two elements, that is, the accused possessed the requisite mens rea at the time of committing the actus reus. In the previous example, Daniel having the requisite mens rea, malice aforethought, at the time of committing the murder would satisfy there being a coincidence of the actus reus and mens rea. However, let's say Richard throws a brick off of a bridge and it lands on Kate's head and kills Kate. If Richard's intent was simply to drop the brick and nothing more, Richard would lack the requisite mens rea for murder, and there being no coincidence of the mens rea and the actus reus, Richard would not be guilty for murder, but may be guilty for involuntary manslaughter, for being reckless or having a blatant disregard for the dangerous situation. There is also a third element which is considered in respect of criminal liability, the question of whether the defendant has a defense. If the fact is that Amanda killed Bianca purely out of revenge, revenge is no defense at all, and thus Amanda would be guilty for Bianca's death. However, there are defenses that can completely absolve one of criminal liability, such as self-defense or non-insane automatism, and partial defenses such as loss of control or defense of insanity. Thank you for listening.